What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another perfectly imperfect video. And for today's content, we have 3 bases to show you from our latest CWL finals match, One Hive versus Dark Looters. Let's take a look at number 22. We have Kwei going in, and he wants to do a 4 golem, basically a go hobo, actually a go-ho, but with 4 golems. Now, there's this was fresh, and there was a Tesla popped here that he didn't anticipate. Take a look at this CC line. He does not want his golem to go down towards the cannon, but unfortunately, because of the Tesla, it pulls it out of position, and then rather than going up to this cannon, it comes down and aggroes the hound out of a CC. So that wizard by that as he tries to adjust on the fly did not work, and that wizard is going to work on that hound and make it and cause it to pop, and not when he anticipated it to. But meanwhile, he's like, "Why? There's nothing I can do about that. I can watch it and just sulk, or I can just move on with my attack." So he continues on with the 3 remaining golems that he has, doing his best to keep them in front of his wizards. Sprinkle them in almost like you would with that same strategy of an avalanche or brimstone go-wee or something like that. And then he's got his BK tanking for his bowlers coming in from the right side. He's going to want to enter all the way over by the BK on the 9 o'clock position. But soon this hound is going to bust, and he's going to have to deal with these lava pups. The lava pups are going to swarm upon this queen, so he sees that coming, adjusts on the fly, drops the poison down because she doesn't have an ability. She ends up winning this battle because he gets just the edge of those lava pups, and then he anticipated to use that poison to deal with the CC right around this section when he gets his second jump into this air defense where the queen would stand into, as well as the CC line. But because of that unfortunate Troll Tesla on the outside dragging his golem away, he had to adjust on the fly, stick with his maining plan, and be ready to drop his poison, not according to where he anticipated it to be. But it's going well from this one. Really good adjustments on the fly, being prepared to do what he needed to do to stick to the main plan, which is going quite well. And then he sends in his 2 of his 7 hogs from the very long position here at the 12 o'clock to try to come in from behind on this wizard tower. And that works out well. Meanwhile, he's got 1 heal. He sees the Tesla's pop because I do believe this was fresh. So he has a heal for this section on the bottom for just the remaining 5 hogs. They'll do what they need to and loses only 1 hog to a spring. But even if they did, all were lost here. He's got more than enough troops, bowlers, and archer queen to take care of the bottom. Really nice job, Kwei. Let's bounce out of here and let's take a look at number 23, the greatest of all time, GOAT, or that new meta. Really interesting base design. And look at the army composition. I mean, it's almost a Noah's Ark. Let's just throw a golem up and dragon up in that bad boy and just have it a Noah's Ark. But he's going to do a queen walk down here. Gets the baby dragon lured out as the only air targeting CC troop in there with a minion. And if you can ever get that baby dragon dealt with away from, obviously it's a Valkyrie in there because the witch would have came out or wizards would have came out to get that minion as well. If you can get, and he does that with the poison and the rage for the walk. The walk is going to hang to the left and basically take up the entire left side, which was really smart here. So everything is going swimmingly according to plan. Meanwhile, at the top, because that queen is a done story, she'll walk all the way down here on these archer towers by the storage by herself without any true threat about you know, having to use another rage on her or something like that because he didn't bring one for her. So then he goes ahead and uses a loon to take care of a troll Tesla that popped up here. And then Valkyrie's in with the BK, deal with the rest of the goblins, which wasn't even a Valkyrie, it was just goblins. Wallbreak heals his way through this as they eat through the wall. No need for wall breakers. This is all still going great according to plan. Uses a jump to get them access to everything else, but then he sprinkles in his hogs from the right here and uses the heal and doesn't get everything that he was hoping for. He was really hoping to get all the way through to this expo, but because it has such high hit points after the update to both wizard towers and bows, they get close, they wound it, but they don't bring it down. So he has just sprinkles in the loons to try to take care of those Teslas that pop up. They get picked off, but they do get 1 mortar. But because he has his walk planned very well and has that. There's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't watch it. And just lets that go by itself. BK comes back and helps out these last few defenses, and he sprinkles in those loons accordingly. And he's got two Valkyries that are going to help him eat through the wall to get to this Tesla that's right here. Meanwhile, he doesn't lose focus of what his cleanup job is. He's got a wizard on the 3 o'clock position cleaning up, and we'll get this elixir collector as well. So the story really is right here. And the fact that he didn't get rattled by his hogs not getting everything that he needed, he had a backup plan just in case things didn't go according to plan. And that's always a good thing to do, is to expect the worst or plan for what if this happens. And every time I plan for, especially with Jake the Rake and Goat, we always ask, okay, if your queen doesn't walk that way, what do you do? And that's a great thing to do, and he brought loons for that. Great job, Goat. Really enjoyed that raid. Let's get out of here and let's look at the last one and call this a video. We have Mayk, where I refer to him as Mayock because it's fun. On number 33, one of 3 similar shell designs. We saw 2 of which get taken down with the skeleton Lalo. This one is a little different. And I'm going to pause before we're going to get started. Take a look at his army composition, specifically the spells. Don't adjust your screens. The hue and the color is fine. That is a free spell. There's a Town Hall 9 bringing a free spell, so you want to see how he intends to use that. Of course, he's got a Lalo for the back end, and we're doing a dragon-based attack. So we'll push play, and you can see how he does that and where the perfectly imperfect aspect comes from. So he's got 2 wizards down here to basically help combat and distract this BK, but the BK goes straight for the queen and didn't go for the Larrys, so he ends up having to bust his ability a lot earlier than he anticipated, and then due to unfortunate circumstances, this cannon ends up targeting one of his witches, and he doesn't get the return on investment that he was hoping for, but he doesn't lose sight of the main attacking force, which are the dragons, and for the most part, the queen's going to keep walking down. So here's where his freeze is going to be and where the story is. That freeze right here missed the air defense. So the 5 or 4 seconds that a level 1 freeze brings a Town Hall 9 was supposed to help mitigate the point defense, the strong point defense of an air defense onto his dragons that is just taking out 1 dragon, 2 dragon, but he puts the rage down quickly to adjust on the fly to try to bum rush the CC, and then of course the queen, which is going to aggro here, drops down a heal to sustain them through, which is going to pay dividends come the end of this raid. Meanwhile, witches are out of the picture. Queen is by herself, and he still has a back-end Lalo for this air defense down here. So he uses one of his 2 haste spells, and that's going to basically zoom the hound over to the left. You'll see what happens there, which is 5 extra loons remaining that he can basically send in here, and you'll see how he does that. But because he decided to use his to adjust on the fly after forced ability earlier than anticipated, not getting the return investment on his witches that he had hoped for. This should have been an overkill, so that the misclick of the fat-fingered freeze just forced him to drop down his rage and heal sooner than he anticipated. And because he did that, look how wounded these dragons are. You have a dang near dead mature dragon right here. This one as well, and then this one is fully healthy. So the story really is, with no point defense left, it doesn't matter how healthy your dragon is. It doesn't. It matters how many you have. If you have 3 wounded dragons with no point defense or even traps coming at them, it's a heck of a lot better than having 2 fully healthy dragons, because the extra time that HP gives you does not erase the DPS needed or spread out DPS in order to combat that time and get this 3. So really good adjustments, adjusting on the fly, Mayk. And bringing a closure to this perfectly imperfect video where we try to focus on the attacks that don't go according to plan. You have to watch the attack or adjust on the fly to still pull down that 3. Hopefully those talking points were helpful for you and you enjoyed those raids as much as I did. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double. And now we'll check you next time.